of all the books. We're just going to get new books. I can't. I don't know. Oof.
Where's Myles? Is he in there? He's probably chowing down on Bristol Farms.
Yeah.
He's already taking his tryptophan nap
Oh my
from all
God.
the turkey
Go
in there
the
at Bristol
hallway.
Farms.
Smells so good.
Myles L. Berman, ladies and gentlemen. He's coming by here to talk to you all about the Thanksgiving weekend, the DUI checkpoints, and DUI enforcement patrolling. Write his number down, or get your phone out right now. I'm going to give it to you. 1-888, the number 4, TOPGUN.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now it's in your phone. Myles, and then put JIC.
Just in case.
Just in case, Myles.
It's a good number to have just in
It
case.
is. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Frank?
You look good. You lost weight.
I've kept it off.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good for
Yeah,
you.
your listeners have me working hard.
Dude, they
No
really-
time to
yeah.
eat, Frank. No time. Although you did pick a good day to stop by with Bristol Farms in the green room. How good does that smell back there? Oh, my God.
You know, there's a lot of food
I
there.
know.
So, and I'm thinking for breakfast, why are they serving the turkey dinner? But then it's for you guys, it's actually lunch.
That's true. By
for
this
us.
time of the morning, we've been up since 3 o'clock.
Yeah, 10:30. It's happy hour around here.
Yeah.
That's why we have Myles on our
It's
side.
midday. I'm thinking maybe it's late in the afternoon for you guys
It
right
is.
after this.
You're right.
Do they ever do checkpoints in the middle of the day? The DUI checkpoints.
Like
Is
happy
it
hour
always
stuff?
like, okay, they always start at 10 and end at 2? Or is there a rule on that?
You know, it's very rare that they do DUI checkpoints in the middle of the day or when it's daylight out or late afternoon. But it wouldn't surprise me that there are other types of checkpoints like child restraint seats or driver's
Yeah.
license checkpoints.
Well,
I mean, I
I'm
suppose
sure-
you can do that 24 hours.
There's probably, I wonder if like on a Labor Day where people are day drinking and they know that they're drinking.
No,
in
you're
that.
day drinking on Thanksgiving too. You got football on.
Yeah, that's true.
And here's the thing about Thanksgiving, it's different than Labor Day. I think that when you're going to your family's house for Thanksgiving, it's more likely that a fight will break out, and you're probably going to
A lot of emotions.
you're going to leave in a huff,
Yeah,
and
we're outta
maybe you
here.
had a couple drinks, and you're going to drive off at around
Drunk and angry.
at 3 o'clock in the afternoon because some family thing happened.
Right.
I didn't mean to laugh, but I know it's not your family that you're talking about.
No,
That's
not
a strange
necessarily,
concept. Yeah.
It's ironic that the Thanksgiving holidays when most people either they want to reveal a family secret and families just stop talking.
I
after
slept
that.
with your cousin.
Yeah.
What?
And I heard this, that I think the Thanksgiving travel, in the 90s, over 95% of people will be driving on the road, and 5% are actually flying to their destination. But most people are driving to their Thanksgiving destination.
And back.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cars on the road, especially with gas prices going down.
Yeah.
So I expect that there's going to be a lot of arrests, DUI arrests, because police officers, this is what they are trained for in large part. Plus, the checkpoints themselves, we've talked about this in the past, where they get funded by state, local, and federal agencies. So they also have to keep doing this so that they can continue getting funding from the agencies. Plus, they make overtime, so the officers aren't necessarily penalized when they're
Or they're pissed they're working on
Yeah,
Thanksgiving.
not the happiest guys. It's like, yeah.
Right, I'd like to be home right now, having some chicken.
Maybe it's always
fish.
keep like a turkey leg in your glove box just in case you get. And then you say,
You're,
hey,
you're officer. I know. Frank, you always come up with the best defenses.
He could have been a defense attorney.
Yeah.
Myles comes up with the best defenses. So if you have any questions about DUI or anything, give us a call right now. We're going to load up the phone lines, take some calls with Myles L. Berman next. 1-800-95.5 KLOS.
KLOS Skylord Traffic.
Here we go, folks. Hey, we've got a big problem in Glendale. 5-car crash, center lane blocked. It's on the 134 westbound of Glendale Avenue. So if you're traveling now westbound 134 through Eagle Rock, almost out of Pasadena, slow from Figueroa, maybe get off on Figueroa down to Colorado. But west 134, Glendale Avenue, 5-car crash and a pretty big backup. In Granada Hills, we're hearing about a bad accident for the west of 118, right at the 405. 3 vehicles, but 1 overturned. Now be careful there, westbound 118 at the 405 freeway interchange. 10 westbound, pretty slow for a Friday morning through the Covinas. 10 west at Sunset, a crash. An earlier problem, west 10 around St. Gabriel, so pretty busy 10 westbound into El Monte. And just be careful in South LA. 110 northbound around the 105. Reports of a dog running around at the freeway. Northbound 110 at the 105 freeway interchange. Brought to us by your Southern California BMW centers. The holidays just got happier. Right now, get a holiday credit up to $3,500 on select BMWs. The BMW Happier Holiday Event. Only at your Southern California BMW centers. Visit SoCalBMW.com for details. That's the traffic. I'm Scott. Right to the skyboard for the Heidi Frank Show, 95.5 KLOS.
We're here at the most exciting event of the winter.
You can feel the excitement, Phil.
First up is Sentra, starting the party with Nissan Connect.
That is the crystal clear Bose audio.
Next up, Ultima. Look at that power.
Up to 270 horsepower.
And Versanote's amazing all around.
Thanks to the Around View monitor.
This is the coolest lineup I've ever seen.
Totally rad. Indeed.
Get great offers during Nissan's holiday event, like up to $1,500 holiday bonus cash on top of existing offers on select models. Shop at your local Nissan store or choose Nissan.com. Holiday bonus cash ends soon. Nissan, innovation that excites. Holiday bonus cash varies by Nissan region. Bonus cash not valid on Versa Note. Available on lease and purchase from new dealer stock. Valid 11/18 through 12/1/14. Subject to residency restrictions. Available AVM. See owner's manual for details or call 1-888-858-8319 for important Nissan Connect and AVM information. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
Well, you listen to the show, you've heard me talk about Drink Well. Drink Well's the world's first daily multivitamin for people who drink alcohol. Well, here's an interesting thing. We actually found Drink Well at Whole Foods, and we reached out to these guys to be part of our show. As you know, all of us on the Heidi and Frank show enjoy the occasional adult beverage, or four, and we believe Drink Well is the best way to help out with that health-wise. Check them out at drinkwell.com. That's Drinkwell with one L, don't forget that. And also don't forget, use the promo code Heidi for a completely free, yes, I said free, 4-pack of Drinkwell packets. That's drinkwell.com, Drinkwell with one L. Don't forget that promo code. That's how you get that free 4-pack, and the promo code is Heidi. You know, I drink wine every night. A lot of people say, don't you wake up with a hangover? No is how I answer that question. I have Drink Well to thank for that. And the online reviews are unbelievable for Drink Well, and it works. If you want to be able to say the same, go to drinkwell1l.com, enter keyword Heidi, and get a free 4-pack. Come on, do it right now.
The preceding statements have not been validated by the FDA. Drink Well is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Drink Well does not prevent intoxication, alcohol poisoning, alcohol abuse, or registered.
Why shop at Kevin Jewelers? Kevin Jewelers has the finest certified diamonds, the most impressive selection of jewelry at very impressive prices, and guaranteed financing to help with your holiday needs. Show her you care with Kevin.
Want a fast, surefire way to save some money? It's simple. Switch to the Charter Spectrum Triple Play and you'll be enjoying Charter Spectrum TV with over 200 HD channels available. That's more than satellite. Plus, enjoy thousands of free on-demand choices so you can find a new series or catch up on your favorite shows anytime. Charter Spectrum Internet with lightning-fast speeds that start at 60 megabits per second, 20 times faster than DSL. That's enough bandwidth to power all your devices. And Charter Spectrum Voice with unlimited nationwide calling, free voicemail, and no extra taxes or fees like the phone company charges. Best of all, there's no contract to sign and nothing locking you in. So start saving with the Charter Spectrum Triple Play. TV, internet, and voice for just $29.99 each per month for 12 months when bundled. Just call 855-97-SWITCH. That's 855-97-SWITCH. Restrictions apply. Visit charterspectrum.com for details.
The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event is back with 0 do-it signing, 0 down, 0 security deposit, and 0 first month's payment.
All those zeros really add up.
Yeah, to 0.
You know what I mean.
I do. And you know what I mean when I say right now, for practically just your signature, you could drive home in a German-engineered Volkswagen, like a sporty, fun-to-drive Jetta, or a roomy Passat mid-size sedan.
With 0 do-it signing.
0.
0 down.
0 security deposit.
And 0 first month's payment?
How many more times are we going to say 0?
0.
Good.
And you need 0 from me?
Well, we do need your signature. The Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. Isn't it time for German engineering?
Example, lease for 2015 Jetta S with manual transmission, $219 a month, 36 months, 0 do it signing, excluding taxes, title options, and dealer fees. Based on MSRP of $18,145, excluding transportation and other noted exclusions. Offer valid only in the U.S. Dealer sets actual price. Closed-in lease offered on approved credit by Volkswagen Credit through participating dealers. Offers end January 2nd, 2015. See dealer for details or contact 1-800-DRIVE-EW.
95.5 KLOS.
Heidi and Frank show, sitting down with Myles L. Berman, the Top Gun DUI defense attorney. Follow him on Twitter. Myles is always good about tweeting the checkpoints and the locations where they will be on the weekends. So if you want to follow him directly, just go to @Myles, MYLES, L. Berman, BERMAN, and he'll update those checkpoints. Now, where do you find? Do you have like a mole inside the department, or is this public knowledge?
You know, we're so well known in this field that police agencies are actually sending them to us, and there's other sources that we have. But That's proprietary information.
Oh, okay.
But thanks to you, you got me started with the social networking stuff. You told me a number of years ago I should do it, and now I do it. And then I try and post them on Fridays between 3 and 5. And thank you guys for retweeting them to let the word out, because I'm performing a public service. Checkpoints are supposed to be publicized, so I'm helping law enforcement publicize their checkpoints.
1-800-955-5567 is the number if you want to call up and talk to Myles. Ask him any question you would like about DUIs or concerns. Let's talk to Charlie first. Hello, Charlie.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. Say hello to Myles.
Hey, Myles, how you doing, buddy?
Good, Charlie. How are you?
I'm doing well. So I had a question for you. My dad told me, or my dad's buddy told me this years ago, and I got you on the phone, so I figured I'd ask. So I was told this was a way to get out of a DUI if you've been drinking and was forced to drive. You have a closed beer in your car. If you get pulled over, you take the keys out of the ignition, set them on your dash, and then when the police officer comes to your window, you open the beer, take a sip from the beer, and then it no longer becomes a DUI, but it's an open container. Is that true?
Well, actually, I think a better way is to call 888-4-TOP-GUN after you get arrested for DUI.
Right.
This is, I'm sure it's true you were told that, but I don't think that, I wouldn't recommend that as a viable defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend people doing that.
Yeah.
What I said actually was the better way.
Right.
Thank you, Charlie.
Nothing against your dad, but sometimes, dads aren't always right.
So what is the deal? I mean, what is open container? What does that even mean? I mean, I know that
it's an infraction instead of getting arrested for DUI.
Like an open container would be, I'm at I go out to Frank's son's football game and I have a glass of Chardonnay.
But you can't drive with an open container in the car, in front of you. It's like driving with a beer in your hand.
Even if I'm having the Chardonnay in the back seat? Well, if it's not a limo, there's like a whole, sometimes a town car will take us somewhere and they're like, oh, you can't drink. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
You take Chardonnay in the back seat, you have a problem.
It's a long trip.
But I mean, I can imagine if I cracked a beer, like say on a fishing trip or something, and getting ready to drive home, and the guy who's driving is not drinking, but we still got some beers in the cooler, and I have the cooler right there in the back seat, and I reach back, grab me a coldie, and I'm in the passenger, just going, telling fishing stories, and we get pulled over. What happens?
Well, first, if you don't like the driver, you may want to consider doing that while you're passing the cop who's on the side of the road and hold it up really high so the officer can see.
Drinking a lot of alcohol right now.
Or you can just wave a red flag in front of the officer as you go by.
But that'd be an open container.
It's conceivable. It's more on the driver than the passengers, but.
I wasn't sure.
And if the driver's the only person in the car and there's an open container, that's usually where it comes in.
Can you have empty beer cans rolling around the back seat?
Yes, you can. And
you better be sober.
It's not wise. I mean, it's always if an officer stops somebody and they see empty beer cans, that may lead them to think of other things.
What if I'm going to a friend's house and
that's why we see people who are dumpster divers walking and not driving with the beer cans.
What if I am heading over? I'm going to Frank's house and he's like, "Hey, bring over that vodka we started the other day." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." But it's been opened and it's half gone. But I'm driving over there and I haven't had anything to drink. Is that still considered open container because it's open? It's been opened.
Yeah, and I would recommend just putting it in the trunk. I mean, when we travel and we bring something, I'll still put it in the trunk just so we don't have access to it, because that's really the reason.
Right.
You have access to it, and the assumption is that you're drinking from it.
And I already have a bar in the trunk, so it works out perfectly.
And take it out of the brown paper bag.
All right, let's take another call. 1-800-955-5567. Let's talk to Peter. Hello, Peter. Peter.
Hey, Peter.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Say hello to Myles.
Hi, Myles.
Hello, Peter.
First-time caller. I really like your guys' show. I had a question for Myles. My question was, when you get pulled over initially, like those first 5 minutes or whatever it is, and they find out you're DUI, do you have to, by law, blow into the breathalyzer that they pull out
in front of you.
Okay, if you're older than 21, there's what's called a preliminary test, preliminary alcohol screening test. You don't have to take that test. It usually is administered after the field sobriety test and before arrest. That's completely voluntary. As a matter of fact, they're supposed to tell you it's voluntary. But after you're arrested, the law requires you to either take a blood or a breath test, if we're talking generally about alcohol, blood or breath. And if you refuse, then they can write you up for refusal. But I think people have the right to withdraw their consent.
Your advice as the DUI defense attorney would be: don't take that. Don't do it.
I've never said that.
Oh, okay.
And the reason is that the penalties can be greater if you refuse. All I do is tell people what the law says. That we agree to take a blood or a breath test or a chemical test when we get our license. But they also have the right to refuse that. But if you're convicted of DUI, the penalties can be greater, and you can lose your license for a year as opposed to 4 months. Although we've beaten the entire spectrum: refusals, non-refusals, blood, breath, even urine cases, which are more rare now. And what else is going on is there's a lot of DUI drugs, both prescription and non-prescription. But even with the prescription, I'm not just talking about marijuana, but I'm talking about, it seems like everybody's taking some type of prescription for one reason or another. And so a lot of times it comes up when there's accidents, or it comes up where a person actually seems a little bit disoriented.
I'm on Vicodin for back pain, but I got to go to work.
Yeah, I mean
I have to drive to work.
This is the reality of today. Plus, in Southern California, public transportation isn't that well known anyway, so there's a lot of people behind the wheel who are taking prescription drugs.
Myles L. Berman hanging out with us, a Top Gun DUI defense attorney. And you were mentioning the last caller, Peter, about refusing to do the breathalyzer, which basically you're refusing to build a case against yourself by going, okay, here's where I'm at right now. But there's criminal DUI punishment, and there's DMV DUI punishment. So they're two separate. They don't go hand in hand. If you refuse, then the DMV can just take your license for a year.
That's correct. They can try. I mean, we beat the DMV as well. But yes, anytime somebody gets arrested for DUI, there's two cases, generally speaking. You have the DUI and you have the DMV. Now, here's what's interesting. The DMV will take action against your license separately from the court if it's alcohol, but they won't for drugs. And it's always been that way. So if somebody gets pulled over, alcohol, they'll take your license, give you a temporary license. If it's drugs, they won't even take your license from you.
Well, that makes no sense.
Sometimes they do. Yeah,
I think it does I think it does.
Well, why am I taking? Why? Because I've had 2 glasses of wine, or you're stoned to the bone.
Well,
you
I
don't
think
get
it
a
goes beyond
license.
marijuana. He was just saying about any drugs, right?
Yeah, but stop. You're both right.
Oh wait, that's never happened.
Marijuana is the same thing, though. That if you get pulled over DUI marijuana, they don't pull your license. They don't take it from you and give you a temporary license.
So how do they know that you even smoke
though.
marijuana? Because you're trying to light the breathalyzer? It's like,
where do I?
Is this a vape? Is this a vape, man?
Wow,
I'm not getting
man.
a hit.
How'd you come up with that?
They start sucking instead of blowing into it. Is that how they know? I don't know.
You're doing
Blood
it
test.
How do they test? Is this blood test?
They'll take a blood test.
But they don't do that on the spot, right? They don't whip out needles out
You
of
know
the
what?
car.
In some jurisdictions, they're starting to do that.
Ooh.
Police officers are being trained to do blood draws.
They're like now phlebotomist.
Yeah, and it started in Arizona. It's spreading to California, and so they're trying to do blood draws from the beginning. Anything that law enforcement can do to try and accelerate the process.
Now, we know what with alcohol, it's what, 0.08?
Correct.
Now, with marijuana, obviously, you're measuring something different in the blood. Is it nanometers or something? How do they measure marijuana? Nanograms. What is the measurement for nanograms?
You know, sometimes they're talking about 10 nanograms.
That's equivalent to what?
A very small amount, and an amount that we don't even agree with.
Okay, so I was thinking, because marijuana stays in your system.
A joint, 2 joints. I mean,
But it might
just
affect
depends on
me
the
just
strength.
like alcohol. It's going to affect me differently than it affects him because I don't smoke. But if I decided I'm going to try it or whatever, it's going to affect him differently than it affects
Well, no, I mean, we might have
me.
the same. Well, it might affect us differently. It's like alcohol. You could be a raging alcoholic and blow a 0.45. You should be in a coma, but you're at that
up and
point of your
talking.
life as far as alcoholism goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the problem with marijuana. Alcohol goes through your system at a pretty much known rate. I mean, it varies from person to person.
What did you just learn about yourself with the way you metabolize alcohol?
Very slowly.
Very slowly.
When you drink a lot?
Yeah.
But like he does fine all night, and then he
Sorry,
hits
Frank.
the wall.
That was a joke.
No, here's the,
Right.
Because you keep drinking and it doesn't go out.
Yeah. If I metabolize slowly, it means say that I'm feeling fine. I had a couple drinks and I'm driving okay, and they give me a breathalyzer and I'm low because I'm metabolizing it slowly.
Right.
Then they take me downtown. I'm sitting and then they give me another one later on.
And you're
then now it looks like I'm more drunk than I was when they initially pulled me over because it took this long to metabolize the alcohol in my system, right?
Yes, but as you point out, you're slowly or slower than maybe what you thought you would be or than the average person. But the average person doesn't apply to anybody. Everybody, our clients are all unique individuals. We don't apply or attribute to them anything that's standard. We look at the individual. And metabolism rates differ from person to person, from day to day, hour to hour, depending on what your eating habits are, your sleeping habits are. So why do you think? How'd you find out it's slower? You have slower metabolism.
I took a DNA test to find that out.
Oh,
because people are like, you should be studied, Frank. I don't know how you do it. You drink
your DNA
and then you
test
get up
results
and
are
you early.
I can't tell if you have Irish blood in you or you don't have Irish blood.
I was like, I want to find out my heritage.
Thinking,
I'm definitely not Indian.
What did you find out? You found out what you weren't?
Yeah, exactly.
By looking at you, I can tell you a few things that you aren't.
I was trying to get some Morongo money, but I'm definitely not Indian.
No.
But I'm probably a lot of Irish in me. Myles, thanks so much for stopping by. Be careful out there, everybody, on the Thanksgiving holiday.
Don't drink and drive.
And if you happen to have something happen and the need, call Myles first. Myles L. Berman, 1-888-4 TOPGUN, the Top Gun DUI defense attorney, TopGunDUI.com. And follow him on Twitter at Myles L. Berman. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Good
Glad to be
you.
here. I wish all your listeners a happy and safe and sober Thanksgiving holiday weekend.
Thanks, Myles.
When we come back, it is Friday. It's time for Should I Stay or Should I Go? We decide the future of music. Next, we are Heidi and Frank.
This is the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5. KLOS.
Experience all the joy of the season. Visit the Infinity Limited